Hi, I'm Evie, and this is my submission to SGDQ2017 of New Super Mario Bros. 2 Warpless as a race with etiquette. This game was previously shown off by me as any percent at SGDQ2016. You probably remember that run because that's the run where my battery died. And I don't know what happened right there. Yeah, so I got that one up there somehow. That lost me a second. Alright, so these first few levels, there's nothing really much to talk about, because it's just holding right and jumping. We are going to collect a few star coins through this run, 10 in total, because there are 2 gates that we need to open, 5 star coins each, that lead to fast levels, as opposed to not using the gates and going to slower levels. So this next level, we're going to get a Raccoon Leaf, and it's very OP. We're going to try to keep it through the rest of the run, except for the few levels where you need to damage boost. So that's why the Raccoon Leaf is so OP. It's because of a trick that I just did called Spin Flying. Which is when you spin and press the jump button at the same time, it moves you upward a little bit, but it also cancels the flying animation. And basically what the game does is while that flying animation is playing, it's lowers your maximum speed, and that's very slow. We want to be fast. So if we don't play that animation, then our maximum speed is never lowered, and we can fly through levels like that. Hardest boss in the game right there. This would be a good time to read donations, because there's nothing really I have to explain for this level. So you may see me hitting the flagpole at a specific spot every time, and that's because it's actually faster to hit the flagpole at about the 2,000 mark. Nobody really knows why, but it does save a few frames, and those frames add up. Which this level is tricky because we have to spin 2 enemies in midair, which is difficult. So if I lose my leaf, I'm not going to be surprised. But of course I would rather not. Oh, we did it. Okay. So one castle, we're gonna do a little trick here and skip one of the ropes, which are slow. We can't skip this first rope, unfortunately, but we can skip the second one. By doing that. That was a really good level. Alright, so this is Roy, and the only real thing you do to optimize him is stand on the right so that he moves less, and jump on him as soon as possible. And you can jump on him really early. Alright, so that's it for World 1. We're going to move on to World 2 now. 2-1 is really just another run and jump level, so if you have time to read donations, now would be the time. Alright, 2-2 has a climbing section in it, which we're going to skip with spin flying. And you're going to see that. It's right past the checkpoint. There we go. And 2-3 is really difficult, so well, at least the first half, so I'm going to need some concentration. Alright, we did it. Okay. So the second half is free. And there's nothing really much to say. Just get in the pipe as soon as possible. I guess I never explained what Warpless is. It's basically just beating the game without taking any warp cannons. That's all it is. Alright, so 2 tower is on cycles. The only time they're really going to matter is right now. That's an early cycle there. That jump is really tight. You need to be really fast with it. And that's the earliest cycle possible. More Resners. Easy. You can get a cycle before that. I did not know that. Alright, I guess I'll have to learn that. Alright, so this level is an auto-scroller. We can make it slower by facing backwards. So we're just not going to face backwards. But we can't make it any faster. So this is a good time to read donations. This is the first of 5 auto-scrollers in this category. This game really likes auto-scrollers. We're gonna take the secret exit. And that'll let us do 2 levels instead of 1. No, 1 level instead of 2, not 2 instead of 1. That would be stupid. Alright, that jump is actually tricky because there's a hidden block there that you can easily hit. This level has a lot of bombs, so this is really just about dodging them. I don't know what I was doing there. Alright. But I beat the level without getting hit, and that's what matters. So this level is normally an auto-scroller, but we can skip it. So I'm gonna need concentration because it's pretty hard. That's not good. Did I get the checkpoint? I did. Okay. So yeah, I messed that up a little bit. Okay, that's better. I'll take that death, because it didn't lose that much time since I hit the checkpoint. It's probably one of the only levels I'll actually take a death in, though. Probably that and 5 Castle. No, I do too. I just mess it up. Tampa. Yeah, Sweepy, this is... my PB is really bad. I'm much better than that. Alright, so this level, we're gonna get a star and just run through the level. Alright, so these next two levels are both underwater. The second one is an auto-scroller. We call this first one an auto-scroller because you can't really go much faster. You can't really change the speed. Even though it technically isn't one. Alright, so this one doesn't count towards the 5 auto-scrollers. Because it really isn't one. Yeah, so this whole section is a great time to read donations. Just because these levels are kind of boring. So this is a very long auto-scroller. The only thing I have to explain is at the very end, so donation reading time. Alright, so here we're just swimming as quickly as possible so we can skip a cycle there and get in the pipe before we see it. More resoners, easy. So that was number 2 out of 5 auto-scrollers. Alright, 3-4, nothing really to explain. Just that the acid is deadly. Isn't the acid soda? It could be soda. Grape soda could also be deadly. Alright, so this is the ghost house. We're just gonna, like, fly through it. There are a lot of doors in this ghost house, so I guess I should explain doors after this. Okay, so doors are weird. If you enter them at the very edge, then you'll walk to the side a little bit to get to the middle of the door and then enter it. But if you enter it at the middle, then you'll just walk straight into the door like that. So we try to enter in the middle of every door. And here we need to lure this boo away. So we get the secret exit here. Note that I didn't get fireworks, even with the double digits, because the double digits have to match the number of the world you're in. Alright, this level is hard. You can get peace speed there and not have the damage boost, but I didn't. Alright, this is the next boss. You can't hit her before the water comes up the first time. It's impossible. But if you hit her quick enough, right, like that, like, if you don't hit her quick enough like that, then the water will come back up while she's in her shell, and that makes her slower. So don't. One warp submission? No, please no. One warp in this game is just take the warp to world flower. And do that instead of world 4. Actually, no, mushroom instead of 2. Yeah, because 2 is long. Alright, so we're gonna just kind of fly through this level. That's the first time I've ever done that level perfectly. Alright, for Ghost House is auto-scroller number 3 out of 5. Again, this is a great time for donation reading. Get in that door, get the secret exit. How I saved 5 seconds on an auto-scroller, I don't know. What auto-scrollers are there left? We have 5A and the final boss. Hey, Etta. Alright, so this is 4B, which is normally an easy level until you get hit stupidly like that. Alright, so this just unlocks a pipe straight to the castle. And that pipe isn't considered a warp because it's not a warp cannon. I am going to need to grab a leaf because we do a lot of damage boosting here. I haven't learned the fastest strat for this level yet. I need to do that. Which involves manipulating a roulette block for a star. Do that, grab this. Alright, so that's that level. And then we just have Morton, who's easy. Alright, so we're going into World 5 now. 5-1 and 5A are easy. 5A is an auto-scroller. But the other two levels that we're going to do in World 5 are difficult. 5 Castle is the hardest level in the run. So we're going to take the secret exit in every level here. And it's basically like a secret back path. A back way path. Be careful here. Oh, there's fireworks. Alright. I forgot that that's a level you can get fireworks in easily. So yeah, fireworks lose like about 10 to 15 seconds. Alright, this level's hard. It's really just that first part. Because dodging that very first bat is very difficult. And here we're just going to damage boost to get into the right door. Six tower is not hard. Six tower is really easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's definitely not harder than 5 Castle. Unless you found a new strat or something that I don't know about. Alright, so this is auto-scroller number 4 out of 5. Just like to mess around here. You can actually just stand right here for the entire level. And nothing will hit you. Normally you would need that spring to get the secret exit here, but we're just going to use P-Speed to do it instead. Okay. That's a bit of time lost just because I lost the leaf somehow. Alright, so 5 castles, the hardest level in the run. For me, at least. I'm gonna need intense concentration. Especially since I don't have a reserve leaf. Okay, let's try that again. Get the checkpoint and an extra leaf just in case. I'm playing it really safe here. Alright, so you can also skip this gate, but it's extremely inconsistent and doesn't save enough time for it to be worth it. Yeah, so I lost time for playing it safe, but not as much as I would have if I died. Basically, we skipped that entire level, which is normally all auto-scrollers. Right, so this is Ludwig, and he's... his hitbox is weird. That's all I can say. You need to wait until he jumps up to actually hit him. Okay, so that level's over. And now we're on to World 6, and from here on out, it's all the same as any percent. Just fly through that last bit that would be an auto-scroller normally. There's nothing really to say about these levels. We're gonna damage boost at the end of this, because there's a boob blocking the door, or the switch to unlock the door. Hey Star, thanks for the luck. I just lost that leaf. Alright, we're okay, because I can get a leaf at the beginning of the next level. Hey Gix, thanks for the luck. Okay, this level's a really fast level. Alright, so obviously that wasn't optimal because I had to grab the leaf. And that means I'm also going to have to do slower strats than 6-4, but that's okay, I was going to do them anyway, because they're risky. Alright, 6 tower has another auto-scroller skip. Or I can just get that leaf, which I forgot was there. Alright, so that's the auto-scroller skip there. The second half of that level is normally an auto-scroller. We just fly through it. It's probably... it's a very difficult thing to learn when you're first getting into the game, but to me, it's really easy now. Alright, 6-4. We can try fast strats. I'm still not going to try them. So fast strats would involve not getting P speed at the beginning, and involve getting P speed right here on these platforms. So you can skip this part, which I literally just learned, and I'm not good at them, so I'm not doing them. Alright, 6-5 is pretty hard. There's a very tight jump. Actually, a couple very tight jumps. We're gonna abuse the fact that landing off a flutter is always a double jump. Alright, that's the tight jump. Alright, so the 2 triple jumps you saw me do, those needed to be triple jumps in order for you to be able to get over those fireballs. And we have used the fact that landing out of a flutter is always a double jump, so we can do a triple jump when we need to. How optimized is this game? Extremely optimized. So this is the last level. I just lost the leaf. That is really dumb. Okay, so we have to sit through this auto-scroller now. Normally you would fly through that. Oh wait, this one is the leaf. So this is time loss just because I didn't grab that leaf somehow. So I lost probably about 20 seconds there, which sucks. We're gonna get the safety leaf there. And those fireballs are also pretty hard to get over. Alright, so we're gonna jump over Bowser. Or not. I should practice that, because clearly I'm not good at it. Jump, please. Yeah, so this is the last auto-scroller. This final phase is actually an auto-scroller. And time is going to be when we hit the big switch at the very end. And it's about 1 minute and 40 seconds from when we take control here. Alright, I lost the cycle there. You should get 4 swipes there, but he did 5 because I missed that jump. So that's like 3-4 seconds. So now we're gonna try to keep this P speed because we're gonna need it for the last section. For the second section, it doesn't matter because he always does 5 swipes, even if you make it up there after 3. We did it. Alright. Not even a sub 51. Alright. That's still a good run. Lots of time save possible. So yeah, that's gonna be my submission to SGDQ 2017 Warpless race with Etiquette, who is in my chat right now. So I'll let the credits play out, and then I'm gonna do an any % run or two, try to get a submission in for that.